readers chose him Top Mining CEO of the Year. Rob McEwen is with us now at the PDAC 2018. Congrats again. 2 years in a row now, Rob. Our viewers voted for you as top CEO of a mining company.
Must because it's the top program on gold, Kitco.
Well, too kind. What's your game plan for 2018, Rob?
2018, we've got a lot on the deck. We're building in Nevada, our gold bar mine. We bought a mine in October in Timmins, Canada, and that's we have an $11.5 million exploration program there this year. It's one of the bigger ones in the area, so we're hoping to find more gold. We bought that asset for 6 cents on the dollar. The previous owner paid $560 million for it, and we bought it for less than 35. So we thought we got a good price. It came with $190 million of tax pools. So assuming this is a profitable mine, it'll be tax-free for a long, long time. We're looking at moving ahead on a joint venture on our Los Azules copper project that might put some money in our pockets and get that mine moving, that deposit moving faster. Mexico, we're going through a transition. We've gone from the oxide ore into the sulfide, so the mining of the oxide is stopping this next quarter. And we have a silver project that was permitted, and we're looking to re-permit in a slightly different manner. It's got a very elegant way of dealing with the environment, protecting it. So that should be in the second quarter.
And I'd like to get your thoughts now on your sentiment of the gold and silver industry, because we were both at the BMO conference before this, and one thing I kept hearing is that the investor interest just isn't there right now. How do you see it, Rob?
It isn't there.
It isn't there. It's missing, desperately seeking investor interest.
Well, let's say there's not a huge interest amongst the gold and silver investors. They're just hanging on and saying, I'm waiting for a recovery. But you are starting to see a few generalists appear and say, this is an oversold sector, it's very depressed, and we're coming into a cyclical upturn in commodities that could last 10 to 12 years. So it's time to get on board.
So you think it's the beginning of a bull market here?
Yes.
How much do you think the crypto craze hurt the gold market, or in your opinion, maybe it didn't at all? How do you see it?
I see the crypto craze as totally different than gold. It does illustrate the amount of money in the system that's looking for speculative investments, but it's not money. And gold is, you have the physical side to it. So I just say when the tide turns, the money that went into cryptos and other speculative areas like real estate and art is going to start flowing back into the metals.
But given the political landscape we have right now, could you really see a higher gold price with, the higher interest rates that are coming on board now?
We have seen periods in the past where gold and interest rates are going together. You have to go back to the late 70s, and you saw it took interest rates, had to go up almost to 20% before the gold market stopped climbing. So interest rates are really a measure of the confidence in a currency. So there'll be certain currencies people are thinking they're being debased by too much money printing or too much debt. Interest rates start moving and people say, well, I have to protect some of my assets. And they move into the precious metals.
So we're at the PDAC, huge crowd. We were at BMO, we were talking about the record attendance there. So do you think people are just really window shopping right now?
They're getting ready. They're getting ready. A lot of them didn't have a lot of money. The values had dropped. But to give you a sense of how under-owned it is, if you were to take a look at the American market and all the public companies there, you have, and added up the value of their market caps, is $31 trillion. Now, 80% of that value is represented by the companies in the S&P 500 index. So that's about just under 25 trillion. There's one gold stock in the S&P 500, and that's Newmont. And its market cap is 20 billion, not trillion. So that means it as a percentage of the S&P is 0.08%.
Well, they're on track to become the world's largest gold producer, about to surpass Barrick. And I guess That's a good question for you, Rob, as well, because as you know, you're obviously one of the original founders of Goldcore. Why haven't we seen the next big discovery? What's it going to take to see the next really big company like the Goldcore, like the Newmonts?
There have been discoveries. It's just the last 4 or 5 years with the gold market dropping and gold price dropping in dollar terms, investors have been focused on production and not on exploration. There are exploration stories that are going along, and they have caught the attention of some of the seniors, some of the plays up in the Yukon. And I think you'll see more of that surfacing. There's going to be consolidation in the junior sector just because they're neglected.
So are we at peak gold now?
We could be. We could be. There hasn't been much exploration money spent, and regulatory requirements and permitting are taking longer. You look at Barrick, it's going to be down to just over 4 million ounces from about 8. It'll be down there, I think they project around 2025. So a lot of the big companies have negative growth curves. It'll be the intermediates and the juniors that run away with the show.
Rob McEwen, thanks so much.
Thank you, Danielle.
And thank you for watching. We'll have much more for you on Kitco.com.